What's up, people of the internet? This is the Photo Fiend here. I'm going to try to do a little Lightroom preset YouTube video for you guys, just to sort of show you guys how I do things, why I use the Lightroom preset, what the Lightroom preset is all about, all of that fun stuff. So let's get right into it. What is a Lightroom preset? Well, let's first talk about what a Lightroom preset is not. It is not your one-click solution to great images. It's not. It's not going to take a bad image and make it amazing. And it's not going to make your images look like the guy's image who you bought the presets from. It's just not. All that a Lightroom preset is just a tool for you to add to your workflow if you so choose to do so. If you so choose to do so. Okay. Yeah, take it or leave it. They're just Lightroom presets. So what are they? When you jump in a Lightroom, I always use a library module to organize my photos. That's how I get them off my SD cards, and that's how I go through my camera roll and decide which images I want to work with and which I don't. So inside the library module, you're not going to get any presets. You're not going to see anything to do with presets at all. It's just the place to start organizing your stuff. So it's in the develop module here where you're going to start working with presets. So we're going to pick an image out of the camera roll. So we're working with Amanda here. She's really awesome. I'll put a link to her Instagram. Make sure you go follow her. But we jump into the develop module to start working on an image that we like, or any of the images, but we're going to work on this particular portrait. And then now we get to see what the Lightroom preset is. In this left hand pane over here, you've got your Lightroom presets. Now Lightroom has their built-in presets, and then I have a bunch of mine that I've made over the years that are available if you want them. Or you can make your own, or you can get free ones on the internet. But the beautiful thing about the Lightroom preset is this mouse over capability. It gives you a thumbnail preview of what that preset is going to do to your image, and I love this. This allows me to see quickly where I can take my photograph, whether I want to make it black and white or different color tones. It allows me to maybe take my image in a different, maybe better direction than what I originally planned. That's why I love mousing over these really quickly, just to see all the different effects that they have on my image. That's a really great tool for my editing process. I love it, so I highly recommend it. But still, what is a Lightroom preset? In Lightroom, when you're editing your photos, you do everything on this right-hand pane over here. All your slider adjustments over here are going to alter your image, edit your image, make your image whatever you want to make it into. Once you've done all your slider adjustments over here and your image is the way you want it, you can save that as a preset, and that's what a Lightroom preset is. And you can just go up to develop. Holy cow, speech impediment. You can go up to develop and just click new preset, and boom, you've got a preset saved. And then you can go on and do another one, or you can apply that preset to more images. Well, that's it. Really simple. I highly encourage you guys to hit the right hand side of your Lightroom module and play with all of these sliders. Get a feel for what they do to your image. That's the best way to learn Lightroom, is just play with sliders. And then you'll get comfortable with it. You'll know what sliders do what and how to approach your image really quickly. Presets are great. And what else can I talk about? The presets, you can organize them by right-clicking and making folders for them. This is where you're also going to import presets that you've downloaded, and this is where your presets are going to show up when you create them. So you can just scroll up and down and choose presets. Pretty simple stuff. But when I'm editing a photo, and that's what we're going to do really quickly here today, I don't like to use presets first. I like to use presets last. So we're going to jump into Photoshop, and I'm going to do my skin touch-ups and a little bit of dodge and burn. And that's going to create a base layer for me to blend presets into. So that's what I do. I don't put a preset on top of my photo and say, yep, we're done, good. Nope. I blend the presets in afterwards if I feel they fit. Sometimes presets don't even fit for the image. So just keep that in mind. We're going to take Amanda here. We're going to right-click, and we're going to edit in Photoshop. We're going to do our quick touch-ups to create a base layer to blend presets into. So here we are in Photoshop. The first things I like to do in Photoshop are just frame it, crop it the way I like it. Obviously I've got the ring light in this image that I got to get rid of. So I'm going to frame this. I like it a little bit wider. This is all personal preference too, guys. Just there's no right or wrong way. Just do what works for you. We're going to use a Select D tool here, and we're going to Control T to drag that out. Same thing on the other side, Control T. I'm using a PC, guys. It might be Command T on a Mac, I believe. Control D. So I've got that ring light in there. I'm just going to do the quick, lazy method of lassoing that area. Right click, and we're going to fill with some content aware. And hopefully it just gets rid of it. I'm not too worried about it because it's an out of focus area that is not where the eye is drawn to. And especially now, it's not a focus point at all because I'm getting rid of it. Just cleaning it up. It's a little bit distracting with that ring light in there. And see here, this one got messed up. It brought her hair into there. So sometimes it doesn't work. What are you gonna do? Fill it again. Okay, so wow, this is a terrible example of, honestly, I'm recording a YouTube video, so this is when this happens. It never happens when I'm editing. Screw you, Photoshop. Okay, good enough. Good enough. This is what we're gonna work with. This is what I wanna do skin touch-ups on. I have my own action that does all the skin touch-ups, and I'm gonna make it available for download in description so you can follow along. But basically it's frequency separation, some dodge and burn, all common stuff. You can learn it anywhere. There's no secrets, there's no magic. I just like it all in an action so that it saves time. So I have an action pack here. You go to View, or you go to Windows, sorry, Actions, if you don't have your actions, and that's where you're going to install it. But you can just double click on the action in the download and it'll install into Photoshop automatically. So we got our action frequency separation pack. I'm going to put it on the background layer by hitting play. And we're going to start with skin touch-ups. I like to use a little bit of frequency separation. With everything, less is more though, guys, so be careful. Don't overdo it. Here's my frequency separation layer. All the other layers are just basic adjustment layers that I like to use. All this stuff. So don't worry about it. Go to Healing Brush. Frequency separation, I call it Healing Brush because that's the tool you use. Healing Brush. So we're just going to zoom in to her face, and Amanda's a bad example because Amanda looks so good already. So we don't have to do a whole lot to her. But we can always clean up some blemishes. Nobody's perfect. I actually like to keep a little bit of blemishes, but I definitely like to keep skin detail. So I don't like to work up with models that cake their makeup on and stuff like that, but this is all personal preference, guys. Just take what you want and leave what you don't want. So Healing Brush is an alt-clicking areas of the skin that I like to mask over areas that I want to get rid of. And we're just quickly getting rid of any distractions, any blemishes that are a little bit distracting. I'm going to probably keep blemishes just because I think, I don't know, they add character, right? They add a natural look that I kind of like. But I'm not going to get into that too much here. Anything else that's overly distracting, we're going to get rid of. But we are just doing this quickly, guys. I actually like it. I like it the way it is. So that was it. Quick skin touch-ups. There's no magic to the skin. It's really easy. You can spend a lot of time doing this if you really want to, but I don't like spending a lot of time. What else? Dodge and burn curves. So I'm going to jump into dodge. We're on a black mask, so we need a white brush. My magic settings are 3% flow, 100% opacity, and 0% hardness. And then I'm just going to use the appropriate size. Oh man, what did I do? I'm going to use the appropriate size brush for the area that I'm dodging. What is dodge? Dodging is just accentuating the highlights. And burning is accentuating the shadows. So highlights in the hair, I'm going to accentuate. It's really easy, guys. You just follow the natural highlights and just accentuate them a little bit with a bit of dodge and a bit of burn. So in particular, if I'm dodging the face, I like to common areas to brighten up below the eyes, get a little bit dark depending on how sunken in eyeball sockets are. Each person's different. Edge of the mouth, I like to brighten up. Highlight the lip, highlight the upper lip, highlight the nose. This is where you can brighten up the eyeballs, highlight below the eyebrows, highlights on the chin, the cheeks. Really, we're not going to do a heck of a lot, guys. Maybe brighten up the teeth a bit. That's it. Less is more. I'm good. Well, I'm not good. We're good. I'm good with how it's coming along so far. We're going to move to burn. Same brush settings. And what are we doing with burn? Accentuating shadows. So below the chin, below the lip, even though she doesn't really have a shadow there, below the nose. We like darker eyebrows, darker eyelashes. That really makes the eyeballs pop, because that's our point of focus, right? Cheekbones, shadows along the outer edge of the face, and just wherever natural shadows might be, accentuate them. This is just quick and dirty, guys. It's no secret to it. I'm gonna just overall reduce her highlights there. And good enough, good enough, good enough. The only other thing I like to do in here, I'll just show you before, after. We're just doing a small touch up to create a base layer. The only other thing I like to do is on sharp mask here, which is a white mask, we gotta jump on a black brush. I can use the same brush settings, and this is just sharpening areas of the face or the image that we want sharpened. So where do I like to sharpen? Lips, eyes, highlights in the skin, eyebrows. I don't like sharpening the hair. Don't like sharpening out of focus areas. That's just silly. I'm gonna sharpen her clothes because the texture looks kind of cool. Jewelry, even though it's out of focus. I sort of contradicted myself right there, but who cares? That's it. That's my base layer, guys. So I'm actually gonna merge these so it's not a huge file. You can do an opacity slider on this action pack if you want, if you really want to blend it down. But I'm gonna go with it full, before, after, merge. So now that we've merged it, I can go File, Save. And as soon as it saves here, this is where I'm going to jump into Lightroom and play with presets. So this is the photo we got. And this is where I start mousing over and I start saying, okay, what looks cool? That one looks cool. I don't know. Do I want to make this in a black and white? It's whatever you guys want to do. But I want to give you an example of a couple of things that you're going to run into when you play with presets. I actually like the East. Maybe remember that one because we're probably going to use it. Or vodka. No, the East was better. Okay. What did I say? We're going to do an example of, well, here. Presets were made when I was working on a specific image. And what's going to make it look funny is, well, first of all, images that you make, they're all created in different white balance situations. So when you're looking at some of these presets and some of them come out like bright blue or bright orange, that's because they don't fit the white balance of the particular image you're trying to apply that preset to. So you might be like, well, man, these presets are ugly or they just don't work. And it's just a white balance issue. I don't really have any good examples here to show you. Well, here's one that's like super orange, falling down. Great name, great name. White balance is totally effed on this. So what are we gonna do? A good trick to do, you can start with your white balance sliders, or you can just go auto. Let Lightroom fix it a little bit for you. And that can help you utilize that preset if you really liked other effects in it, whether it brought out the shadows and details better, but it was just all orange. Now it's manageable. Obviously this is pretty overpowering, and I picked a bad example preset to use on this image, but I'm gonna make it work just because why not? I picked a bad example and I can still make it work. Obviously, you'd mouse over and pick something that you really love. But let's pick this. So we've saved this. That's our base layer. So I can go ahead and close that. And I can go in here and we're going to edit this. The whole purpose of editing this is to blend it into the original, because this is way too much editing with that preset. I'm going to show and explore. Grab this guy here. Drag it into Photoshop. That's our original. And now I can just use my opacity slider to blend that preset in. That's a heavy duty preset, so we're going to tone it down quite a bit. But it does pop the details a little bit more, and I don't mind it. So I'm just doing an opacity slider, 2 layers. Another trick to do is you could put a mask on it and just paint it on where you want it. If you don't know about masking, just figure it out, guys. Google it, because that's the basics to Photoshop that you're going to need to know. But in this case, I'm just going to do an opacity slider on here. And we're going to say, yep, that's good. And what you can do now is File, Save, and that's going to be an edit of the preset that you applied to it. So you still have your original, but you can go back into Lightroom and see what we've created so far. And then you can go right back to checking out presets, right? What was that one? That one looked kind of cool. That's kind of cool too. We're going to make some slider adjustments, maybe bump the contrast on that. No, contrast is bad. I don't know. You just play with your sliders, guys, until you get something you like. The preset is just a starting point. Whoa, whoa, slow down, man. And you can do that. That one looks kind of cool too. So this is all I'm doing. I'm just playing with things and adjusting things, layering them into my original until I get my final image. Honestly, when I'm doing it on my photos that I'm going to upload, I have my go-to presets that I really love, but sometimes I like to create other looks and I just mouse over until I find something that works. So, I mean, for this image, honestly, I think it's good with the preset that we put on it, but I'm going to give you an example of blending another preset on top of it. So we've created this guy. We can close it because we saved it. We're going to edit this guy, totally different preset. On top of that one, open it in Photoshop, grab the edit, throw it into here, and again, blend it. There. That's kind of cool. And I'm going to play with it a bit, because I think it needs a little bit of playing with. That's that. Let's play with brightness and contrast a little bit. No. No. Yeah, that's okay. So that is the Lightroom preset, guys. I don't know. That's how I edit my photos. And I love the presets. So that's one method of using them. All right, let's do one more quick edit before I go back to being lazy. I'm gonna pick one that's not straight on ring light so that you guys can see a different lighting situation, and we're gonna apply some presets, see if we can get you guys pumped and motivated again with Amanda, because she's awesome. I'm looking at this image and the white balance is a little warm. I'm gonna cool it down maybe a bit. I don't know, it's maybe a little bit too pink there too. Whatever. Again, no presets yet. I'm gonna jump into edit in Photoshop. Here we are. It's looking like we've got a ring light in the photo that we can get rid of with Select D tool, Control T, get rid of that. Actually gonna stretch this side out a bit too, because I just feel like it. And I don't know. We're gonna start with my frequency junk. Hit play. Healing brush. Sheen. Let's see here. Get right in close. So this is not the best lit image. She doesn't have decent light in her eyes, but we're gonna make it work anyways. I kind of like the moody dark light anyways, so deal with it. Really like her skin in this is really good, but we are going to just fix up a little bit. I really like just a few, I probably should have kept that blemish there. No, yeah, I like, we're gonna get rid of some stuff. I like it, we're doing good, we're doing good. This is all I do, guys. Oh, that's really bad, don't do that. I should have kept that too. I'm overdoing it, but whatever. We're just having some fun playing Photoshop. This girl's got a great face. So, that was our frequency separation. I'm going to go to dodge. So dodge for this one is going to be a little bit of a artistic challenge, I guess you could say. I really do want to bump up the highlights in this area, just so that we can make a connection with her eyeball, which is really important, right? But again, we are just accentuating highlights. Wherever I see them, wherever I see fit. That one's already highlighted enough. Maybe bring out this dark area a little bit. And I just want to be careful not to do too much here. So where do I want to do? This is a little dark. Again, don't want to do it too crazy. This is a little dark and distracting. And yada, yada, yada. And we're going to put a strip in the eye. Just because we're crazy. We're going to, she says she looks like an alien when I do this. So we're making alien portraits. So, too bad, Amanda. You're an alien. Ooh, I like this highlight right there. Which gives that highlight right there. I don't know, guys. I don't even know what buttons I'm pressing on right now. Did I overdo it? Maybe. You just got to decide what works for you guys. I'm gonna jump on burn. And everything's already dark, so I'm not gonna burn anything. We're gonna jump on sharpening, definitely. With my, what is it, white mask? So I need a black brush. And where do I want to sharpen in this? Her eyeball. This highlight for sure, this highlight for sure. Oh, that highlight for sure. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is how we're gonna do this image. And this is gonna be a good one to show off my presets. So yeah, check it out. I just look for things that might distract me. Like I'm gonna jump back onto my frequency separation stuff. And this line here is distracting me a little bit, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. Maybe that's, yeah, none of this is overly distracting. How did I do there? So, kind of messed it up a bit. I'm gonna actually burn that section there. And I lost my video of my face, but nobody needs to see that anyways. Was I not recording? Maybe I filled up my phone or something. Hey, we're back. I'm not very technologically inclined, so whatever. We're getting too distracted here. This is a video about Lightroomy presets. So, as before, after, base layer, merge visible, file, save, and once that's saved, 91%, and we can jump into here. This is where I get to play with my presets. We're gonna show off, where are we here? I'm gonna show off my Russia, before Russia. Okay, this made it really dark. So I'm just gonna bump up the exposure a tiny bit because I like it dark. And go in here, close out that, go back here, right click, edit in Photoshop. And then we're gonna go in here and we're gonna go show and explore. I'm gonna grab the one that's showing and explore, put it in here. Boom. That's the original. It's kind of still too warm, kind of monotony warm, almost sepia. I hate sepia. So we are gonna venture away from the sepia, but I do like the texture that this Before Russia preset is giving me. Oh, I really like it. See, this is why presets are awesome, guys. So we're gonna blend that in at about whatever percentage I decide. You just slide it back and forth and choose a preference that works for you, that works for your image. Okay. Merge, visible, file, save. Now this is where I'm gonna blend another preset in and get rid of that monotony warmth sepia look that I really hate. So we're gonna jump in here. And I actually know right away that Mother Russia is gonna give this photo some life. And that's what it's doing, kind of, I guess. Again, I want this closed out of here because we already saved that. Edit in Photoshop. This is getting repetitive, right, guys? Easy to edit photos, easy to use presets. Everything's easy. So I can't remember where. Let's go here, show and explore. So we're gonna grab that, put it on there. And I'm just gonna blend it in a bit. Not all the way, because it's kind of crazy. I just want a little bit less warmth. And I really like that, actually. It's kind of cool, but let me just play with it a bit. I actually like it warm. It's going to be totally personal preference here, guys. I like that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go a little bit stronger on the preset. I'm going to go merge, visible, and then I'm going to jump in here and grab the original, just to put that back into this one that we preset it up quite a bit. I don't know, actually I like the preset. Decisions. I'm looking at it and I like it. I'm gonna do my favorite adjustment layer, selective color. Just gonna play with it a bit here. There. Check out the yellows. Don't ever touch that magenta layer. Terrible layer. Or slider, or whatever. I don't really know, guys. I don't really know. Definitely the whites can be bumped into a different color range. What range? Oh, I like them over there. I'm just looking at the highlights with this layer. I don't really know what I'm doing. But it's fun. This is going to be my global. This is basically like color balance. Don't know that I'm doing much. That's not bad. Might be overdoing it. Whatever. Deal with it. My monitor is terrible. And like everything, guys, personal preference. Whoa, be careful with that slider. Let's see here. What do we do? Just darkened it a bit, really. I'm gonna blend this layer in. Go merge visible for now. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like it. This is a cool image, actually. I really like these dark images, though. I mean, if anything, I could bump the highlight in the eyeball a bit, right? Because people like to see that. So, Control I that mask, brush it on. And those presets also showed me some areas of dodge and burn concern, but I'm not too worried about it, actually. Just gonna pop her eyeball a bit more. Maybe it's too much, but hey, what are you gonna do? Maybe it's a bit too much right here. And that's another example of my presets, which you can file, save. This is a pretty cool image, guys. Pretty cool image. Check it out. And then if I'm going to put it on 500px, I size it up for that with an image size of around 2300 pixels. And then I actually like to add a little bit of noise with some filter noise. People don't like the amount of noise that I put on, but I just cater to my own preferences here. We're gonna go here and we're gonna adjust the opacity slider on that noise. Doesn't really need a lot. And then you go File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. And that's basically our image. It's kind of cool. I like it. I don't know. Maybe you guys do too. But we're going to save that. Call it web so I know it's a web version. Goes right to my Dropbox, which I can then check on my telephone. And that is how I use my Lightroom presets and my actions. I'm going to put a couple of the presets in a Dropbox folder for you guys with my actions for free. So you can try this out and see if it works for you. I've got a lot of presets because some of them work good for outdoors, some work great for my studio stuff, some work better for dark light, some look good for the high key setups. I don't know. They're just tools, guys. They're just tools. So if you like them, check them out. Make your own. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to try to make a lot of videos on a lot of different things. Let me know what you want to see. Bye-bye.